The gangster subgenre of films is one of my favorites. There is something arresting about watching a flawed anti-hero rise up in the world through sheer grit and resolve. So, how is Vishwak Sen's Gangs of Godavari? Let's find out.
ఇది చరిత్రలో మిగిలిపోవాలంతే.
Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. You're watching NotATollyReview. My name is Hriday Ranjan. This week's movie is Gangs of Godavari, starring Vishwak Sen, Neha, Sshetty and Anjali. The film is written and directed by Krishna Chaitanya. For a film that is based in the 90s, you as an audience never really get to sink into the world of Gangs of Godavari. Probably because everything looks fake. Whether it is the leads, they are fair-skinned to the point of seeming Caucasian. And apart from the customary gold spot bottle, a few film posters and the sepia tints in the edit, there isn't much in terms of world building. We have the usual graph of the outsider who climbs up the ladder of crime by working under an established landlord. He's a guy with a heart of gold but is brutal in his actions. It's a theme we have seen in countless films. Almost 20 films every year have the same beats. The makers also use a voice-over narrative for the entire film, so time is skipped using a dialogue. There are other bits of writing that are so idiotic that they kind of become annoying. Like, sample this. A girl falls in love with a man because he promises to donate land to his villagers. She then brings the papers for the land and hands it to him. She falls in love with him because she hears him deliver a line that would be too corny for a high school play. Neha Shetty's character is written for a film in the 80s. The real problem with the writing though is the lack of risks it takes. When you watch a film like Godfather or even Gangs of Wasseypur, you see that the heroes take a fall, they get hurt or they die. It makes the characters human and the plot unpredictable. But here, Vishwak is able to wriggle out of every life threat that he faces. So you know he's invincible and that makes you sit back in your seat and relax. In terms of writing, there isn't too much of cleverness either. Payoffs are explained along with their setups. Twists are revealed a few seconds before they actually happen and the hero ends up becoming immortal. And due to the lack of heft in the writing, we have to resort to Naveen Nuli's fast cuts. The film wants to be realistic and gritty, but it also wants to be slick and quick. And this brings in further tonal incongruity. The fact that it is based in the 90s has no real relevance either in writing or the treatment. Which is not to say that Gangs of Godavari is a terrible film. Parts of the film are certainly engaging. The ever-dependable Anjali salvages the parts that she features in. Cinematographer Anit Madadi has a knack for making the everyday look interesting. Vishwak Sen's eyes light up in a few scenes, but the other characters are all terribly one-note. The shocks are not shocking enough, the twists are not twisty enough. While not outrightly a bad film, Gangs of Godavari could have benefited from better writing and more experiments in its linear approach. After watching films like Pushpa and Rangasthalam, we as an audience expect a lot more from rural thrillers. Unfortunately, Gangs of Godavari doesn't provide too much in terms of novelty. It doesn't sink in the waters, but it barely remains afloat. Thank you so much for watching our review of the movie Gangs of Godavari. If you haven't done it yet, please remember to subscribe to Film Companion South on YouTube by pressing the bell icon.